So I have asked you which other cars you want to see from the IAA Motor Show, which is not like all new or a concept or whatever. And you guys wanted to see the Audi A5 Facelift because, this will affect a lot of people. And we have it here as the S5 Coupé. In general, we'll tell you everything about the changes for the A5 Facelift, for Coupé, Sportback and Convertible, and of course with a small sporty focus. Also one of the reasons you should subscribe to our Autogefühl channel, then you can always say which car we should review next or maybe which one is missing. Now exterior, interior, technology, let's go! LED headlamps are now standard. They are a little bit changed also in the design. Some minor upgrades here to the front. The S5 Coupé, of course, has those very sporty accentuations here inside the grille and also contrasting lower bumper. And also a little bit changed area right there. Option, you can also get matrix LED lamps then for high beam function, and the highest function would then be that you also have cascading turning indicators and even laser LED rear lamps. Very interesting. Length 4 meters 67, 15'3" or 184 inches, and the wheelbase to the Sportback does actually differ. So the length of the Sportback is about 2 inches longer or about 6 centimeters longer than the one of the Coupé and the Convertible. So this one here obviously Coupé with 2 doors and this very central shape right there. Audi is working a little more with edges and strong angular lines than, for example, Mercedes does. Here in this case, this is also 20-inch wheels, the biggest ones available, pretty massive, and they also have a special tire here with this overlapping lip to protect those precious rims a little bit more. Also very interesting color, and also with a dark or shadow package here where we have the black mirror caps, also the black frames. There is a new S5 badge right there. They try to make the S models a little bit more distinguishable from the normal models. Definitely a very impressive design feature right here. In the rear, slightly different design here for the tail lamps. Looks a little bit more modern. S5 badge here, since this is a sports version. Then a diffuser in a lower end, black contrast, and the TDI models for Europe, at least for Coupé and Sportback, they will have absolute blind fake exhaust tip on the right side. And then on the left side, you have those exhaust rings with the real exhaust on the inside. When you have the petrol V6, those ones will be real exhaust. About engines in general, for the A5 facelift, still 2-liter TFSI or 3-liter TFSI, then also available in the US 4-cylinder, either with a 2-liter or 6-cylinder, then here with the 3-liter TFSI. And for the S5, for the US, you still get the V6 with 350 horsepower, the V6 turbo petrol engine. 4.7 seconds is the acceleration figure to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour. And then also for the A5 general, again, 2-liter TDI with a 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder 3-liter TDI. And in Europe, the S5 Coupé and Sportback will be the S5 TDI, then also with about 350 horsepower, but then about 5 seconds is the acceleration figure. That's for the Coupé and the Sportback. It will be a little bit special with the convertibles. I will soon talk more about that. But again, friends in the US still got the V6 turbo petrol engine. In the European area, everything moves to the S diesel side. Again, different for the RS5, but the S models, because they are actually sold also in significant numbers. Here, in this case, also, with this red cover, because this one here is the S5. And we also always have those details right there. It's like 347 horsepower, but the real horsepower figure always depends on on which market are you. Is it like British horsepower and so on. So I think 350 is easier to remember. As I said earlier, the facelift for the A5 Coupé, Sportback, and also for the convertible, we see it right here in a very special green color. It's one of the 40 TDI, but of course will come for all the engine versions. Here again, those new LED headlamps, and the convertible, beautiful one-line design Those ones also the big wheels. Should be also the maximum 20-inch wheels, Audi Sport wheels. This one here, the S line, so the true S5 will not look too different actually. And then this typical straight line for the convertible right there. What else you can see? Facelift-wise, of course, the interior where we also have this floating screen right there. Yeah, it's a little bit strange how they put the car right there, but you can see the new middle screen for that interior. And one very special thing is for sure that with the convertible, thinking about European customers, and when you get the S5 convertible is the only chance you can get the true V6 petrol engine for the S5. So Coupé and the Sportback will get the S5 TDI, but as this one is not sold in so high numbers, they also don't care about the higher fleet consumption where you then have to pay extra taxes to your EU. So this one here, yeah, that maybe could then be my tip. So if you wanted the S5 in Europe, then you can still get it here as a V6 petrol, as a convertible. And I mean, come on. If there is a choice for a car where it's available as a convertible, why don't you go for the convertible? At least that's what I would do. There are actually more upgrades in the interior. Let's take a look at that. But first of all, of course, for the A5 in general, those frameless doors are characteristic here for the Coupé, convertible, also for the Sportback, pretty nice. Then there's some Alcantara inserts right there. Interesting style, contrasting to the gray color. And also the S entry badge, since it was the S version. General for the A5 you can get base seats and you can also get sports seats, and the S model gets sports seats standard, but then those ones are the S sport seats, so the second optional sport seat with integrated head restraint. Usually they are a little bit less comfortable, and also with this quilted structure they are also a little bit stiffer as for the seating surface. I do recommend the Alcantara seats that are available, or stick with the base seats if there's a base A5. This one here, by the way, you can slide the seat forward or backward. And that way you can also access the rear. And you see those ones are rather emergency seats than if you think about transporting adults in the back. Now let's get inside. It is still a mid-sized vehicle, therefore it's not too different when getting on the inside. If you think about an Audi A4, but the roof line here is a little bit lower. Still you feel quite cozy in here, a little bit less headroom. So I'm on with 86 or 6.1 that comes quite close actually, so you feel a little bit more roomish than in the A4. Still you can find a good seating position. Steering wheel, sporty style with this round in the middle and an S flat end and so on. You can control it with the manual control, electric seats in this case. And you know, it's still decently comfortable, and you have a sporty seating position, yes, but it's not too sporty that you would say, you know, it cages you in totally. It's super uncomfortable, so I think it's good mix. Material-wise, by the way, good quality here, soft touch on the top board. Then there's some carbon fiber here as those inlets and all the buttons and so on that Audi is using. Nice clicking feedback also, so everything is very well organized. And the news is actually more about the infotainment. So I would say Jonas just gets in behind me. Yeah, squeezes in behind me. Oh, about that. Let me show you that first, because, yeah, I know you guys, this is maybe then the, you know, you want to see me suffer, right? I know. So, as I would be driving, yeah, yeah. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That's why I prefer the Sportback for reviews. So, headroom-wise, I do still fit in here. I do hit the head on the ceiling, but, you know, just barely. It's barely okay. So, middle. Here with some cup holders as well. Fold them out like this. Two USB charging ports are, by the way, also here in the middle part. Then you see here we have those glass roofs here. This can also be opened actually, and there's also a shade. But now when I put the seat back, yeah, well, for a short trip, maybe to the train station or so, it still works. Of course, you will be a little bit more flexible than with the Sportback. That's why people would go for the Sportback. Also have, of course, the next door. But now Jonas gets here, that we can have a clear shot to the front. I'll start with the 12.3-inch digital instruments here on the left side because the car is not really battery powered properly. It might dissolve after a while. So, and they're crystal clear to read. You can also have a full map view in here, recently seen also in our A4 facelift review. Then a good grip with the steering wheel, although the one with Alcantara would be better. Sound control on the right side with the thumb, and left control would be how you control the digital instruments. And the big news is here definitely this 10.1-inch screen. It will always be that size. Thank you. Finally, not 3 sizes anymore. There will be software differences, though. So I want to give, still keep some extras. All via touch. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto connection is available right there. And also with the newer cars that are coming to the market now, also wireless Apple CarPlay. That's cool. GPS also looks pretty impressive, like this. It's also fast. We're here in Frankfurt at the Motor Show. So that's definitely an upgrade, but the GPS again will not be standard. You have to pay extra to get this software. This one based on a new MIB3 infotainment system platform by the Volkswagen AG. You can still connect your phone via Bluetooth, by the way, and of course the home menu like this. Everything is pretty simple and clean. I really like this system. It's good to control. Yes, you have lost the MMI knob to control it, but you can very well access it also from the driver's area. Yet again, controlling the touchscreen while driving is not maybe clever, but you also have new voice input, for example. We could show you when the car is properly powered now. Same here goes for the AC unit, which is one of my favorite ones. I like that it's still accessible here with those turning knobs. 2-zone AC here. This again is the optional AC unit. That's Audi or Mercedes or BMW theme. Optional. Then here again those carbon fiber inserts. Pretty cool. And lower part for the drive select. Yeah, reaching that while driving is also a little bit complicated. For example, to put in the sports mode and so on. Some USB supply in the lower part, then classic adaptive cup holders. Then there's this small cubby hole right there in the front. And this one at the moment, the S5 is made to the converter gearbox, the Tiptronic. And the smaller engines will be the S-Tronic, which would be the dual clutch transmission. But 3-liter 6-cylinders are always with the converter gearbox because more torque, and this one can sustain more torque than both for the petrol and the diesel engines. Still a volume knob here, maybe for the co-driver, like when it, hey Thomas, your music is too loud again, so turn it down. Does it happen to you too? Then in the middle here, the armrest will slide forward or up. And then you have the inductive charging pad underneath. And you can see at the moment there's a new USB-C charging device. So you have a split and USB old in the front and C in the back. Let's check the trunk of the S5 Coupé. Of course, it will be the same for the A5 Coupé. The Sportback will have the Sportback opening, so will not be limited like this. This is the advantage of a Sportback, of course. Here you're a little bit limited in height. And the convertible will of course be even more limited, but here I can, you can still live with that. And then you have those folds here, like this for the middle part. And this here, this is just a release for the other one. And here, and then you have to go all the way around or push it from here. Oh, there we go. Yes, success. And with a beautiful 3/4 rear perspective, we close the Audi A5 Facelift here with a special of the Audi S5 Coupé. Yeah, probably the sportiest one as from the look overall. The Sportback is of course more practical, and the convertible, the cabriolet, is of course, to me at least, always the most fun because it delivers you this open-top experience. Which one is your favorite of the A5 model line? Coupé, Sportback or convertible? Please tell me in the comments. The facelift, yeah, some fresh up in the exterior. The S models are a little bit more distinguishable now than to the other models. And especially for the interior with this new infotainment screen. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, the MMI control knob is gone. That might be a downside to some. Then again, you have a more sophisticated system, an easier software to control, and also pretty nice as for the big GPS you have there. So smartphone connectivity also has been improved and so on. So I think overall, not too bad what they did there, and it's really nice that they have refreshed it now. Also some significant changes we've seen to the A4. So the same, of course, A4 and A5, they are both on the same, some would say, platform, share the technology, and that's why also the changes are somewhat similar. So now tune in to the A4 facelift reviews, for example, and soon we will have also updated driving reviews here with the A5 facelift.